Welcome to Make Your Remarkable, the podcast where banking meets inspiration. Here, we share stories that spark new ideas, open doors, and remind us what's possible when passion meets purpose. Each week, you'll hear from remarkable guests, leaders, dreamers, doers, and difference makers, who bring fresh perspectives on leadership and culture, community connections, and the path to financial success. Wherever you are on your journey, their stories will encourage you to think bigger, live bolder, and make your own remarkable. So let's dive in. It's time to make your remarkable.
Welcome to Make Your Remarkable, the podcast where we explore what it means to live with purpose, lead with intention, and make a meaningful impact in the lives of others. I'm your host, Charlie Fleming. Today's conversation centers around the idea of unity, how we come together through life's highs and lows, and how we support one another, and how that connection shapes the way we live, lead, and serve. I'm truly honored to welcome David and Lindsey Pollack to the show today. Many of you know David from a standout football career at the University of Georgia and in the NFL, and now as a leader, speaker, and author. Lindsey is an incredible voice of strength and faith, especially through her courageous cancer journey. Together, they've walked through seasons that have tested and strengthened their family, their faith, and their purpose, and they continue to pour into others through their Pollack Family Foundation and their work in the community. With David's new book, Every Day Counts, their message feels especially timely, a reminder that even in life's hardest moments, there's purpose, perspective, and an opportunity to impact others. We're so grateful to have you both here today. One thing that I really do kind of want to lean into that I felt like reading these questions over the weekend, the disconnected part, I feel like is something that I would love to hit on, meaning that when adversity hits your family and you feel like you're all alone, and I really kind of want to lean into that because I feel like as far as like the message of unity is like really important. That's what we want people to walk away with. And so, yeah, I really want to lean into it because I think that's pretty powerful that if we can like touch on that. But thank you guys for being here again, carving out some time. And you guys have both walked through many seasons together, football seasons, life seasons, from football, family life to health challenges and ministry. So looking back, what has most shaped the sense of unity within your family?
All of it. I mean, I think that's probably what we've learned the most, like that God doesn't waste things. And there's not things that we've walked through and we're like, man, that was pointless. That was a waste. There's some, every time we've walked through something, we're like, oh, it might be a little difficult and it might be a little bit hard, but God's always been faithful and he's always shown us, how much we have to be thankful for. He's always built something new inside of us, which is really cool. Like when you leave something that's very, very difficult. So listen, those challenges that's the good stuff, man. I mean, that's the great stuff in our lives. It's been the stuff that makes you appreciate the other stuff even more. It also makes you realize when you look around, like someone else has always got it worse. Like broken neck. Okay, well, somebody buried their child today. So we've had some battles and we've had some things, but I think we're always able to point forward and realize just how grateful we are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think every season brings its own challenges and differences. So it's almost like you don't have a choice but to come together as a family unit and communicate. I mean, we're big on communication between each other as spouses, with our children. Like, you have to talk through things. Like, what does this season require of each of us? Each of our roles change. Who needs to pick up the slack where? Like, how are we going to work together to make this work? Because it's always changing.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys grow up in households where communication in the family was good, like normal and like?
I did not.
Okay, so y'all didn't talk about feelings?
No, not at all.
What about you, Dave?
No. We get mad at each other, yell at each other, and then we act like the next day like it never happened. That's how we dealt with our stuff in our family. So I think it's been awesome for us because we've kind of learned together for sure. I think a lot of people say don't go to bed mad. I think that's something that people talk about all the time. But I just think for us, it's easy to just communicate about it and whatever's going on. A lot of times there's an underlying message with it, right? But I think knowing your spouse and knowing what they're going through, knowing what's going on in their lives, I think will help. But if you don't communicate, how do you know that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's the biggest. And I don't think it's enough to go, hey, how are you? Like, what's the response always going to be? I'm good. Like,
I'm fine.
One thing we've learned is I'll ask her, I'm like, hey, what are you out of 10?
That's a good question.
Well, now I know exactly where she's at. Like instead of guessing, if she's a 3, man, I got to step my game up. Like I've got to be there for her and be better. If she's a 9, okay, she's pretty good, right? Like she's not really worried about me today probably. But I think it's better than not putting a number on it and just so you know exactly where you stand. But communication is the foundation. Find the area in the house in which communication happens. For us, it's the kitchen. Like it's our best area. It's our best spot for us. It's our best spot for our kids.
Well, who doesn't love to sit in the kitchen and eat?
Yeah.
Like
Snack on some appetizers.
you're always sitting there around a good meal or a snack or something. It's where our kids open up the most and talk, and it's just easy and natural.
But I think you can find that in the car as a younger parent and ask questions. And I think that alleviates some pressure because they're looking forward. They're not staring at you. It's not as abnormal. Like my daughter, we talked a lot because she doesn't formulate the words as quickly as she wants to. So a lot of times she'll roll her eyes or have some kind of a reaction that's not necessarily typically a good one. So she was like, hey, can we just text when it's something that's big? And she was like, it gives me time to think about it and process it and then type it and then see it and then type it. And I was like, absolutely. So I think communication looks different for every family, but find those spots and those areas where you can really get the best out of your partner and your kids.
I love that. You both have been open about walking through the difficult seasons, especially Lindsey, your cancer journey. How did that experience kind of redefine what unity looked like for you, not just as a couple, but as like a family and kind of navigating like that season?
Yeah. So kind of what I was saying, that season was going to look different. Like mom was going to have surgery and be a little, unavailable for a time. So how are you going to step up and help your dad out? I mean, he took on a massive role. Everything with the house, everything with the kids. Like I'm known as like the planner. I'm super organized.
She's Monica from Friends.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah, sticky notes, color coordination.
I got to a point a few weeks after surgery, I looked at him and I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to plan. I like that kind of hurts my brain to think about things like this is your job.
And I said,
what? He's like, I've never done this.
Like, I was like, wait a minute, am I going to get in trouble for this?
So walking into that, just talking to the kids, obviously telling them about my diagnosis was hard, but more than that, giving them a sense of responsibility in it and how are you going to help out, I think help give them something to focus on. So yeah, I was just, okay, I'm not going to be, and then obviously we had a huge community from our church and our friends, like everybody stepped up, but specifically in our family, just learning what those new roles looked like really brought a sense of, like my son had to watch over me, babysit me essentially when he had to take my daughter to basketball practices and make sure I was doing okay. And I took my medicine and I didn't want to take my medicine. And I literally was like, no, I'm not taking it. So she had to call dad and say, she said no.
She won't take the medicine. I'm like, put her on the phone, buddy.
And that, at 16 years old, he had never experienced anything like that. So, it's hard, but it's also really good for them to see difficult things. We talk all the time, like our kids are very privileged and very blessed. And I'm okay with that. But it's good for them to experience hard and difficult and see what real life is like for other people. I mean, there's some parents out there who are very sick. I was super blessed. Mine was a short period of time. Yes, brain surgery is not an easy thing, but from the diagnosis to removal of the tumor and all that, I mean, considerably, comparatively was a lot shorter than what a lot of people have to go through. So I consider us lucky and blessed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's where, we talked a little bit about communication too, like being able to communicate the diagnosis and like what's needed of them to kind of step in, fulfill a role.
But here's what I'll say. Yes, but I think you put I think it's hard to quantify sometimes what that looks like. And I don't think a lot of times what that looks like. So for example, for us, we're walking through this, the days are all the same. They all blur together. The day is the night is the day. I don't know what day of the week it is. She doesn't know what the day of the week it is. Months into this stuff. But when my friends would ask, what do you need? I don't know. I don't know what I need. So as much as communication is a big part of it, also stepping up without asking is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like, don't wait till somebody asks you for something. My friends did a really good job. Like our friends did a really good job. They just came over and did our dishes. They came over and got groceries for us. They came over and cleaned the house. Like they did laundry. And so, it's not enough. It's not enough to just go, hey, I'm thinking about you. What can I do? Like when someone's going through something, step up. Like go do something for them. Figure it out. Like that's a challenge. It's a cop-out when you go, what can I do? To me, it's a cop-out now. Like we're going to definitely find ways to plug in no matter what, not just take the, hey, what can I do for you when it's really, really hard. I mean, David Green, I'll never forget, texted me. He was like, hey, I'm going to have the I'm having the people come pick up your laundry today. I was like, okay, sweet.
Wow.
But people that come over and just give your time, that time is important. And just to be a distraction and have fun for a day and have some entertainment. So yes, communication is big, but also stepping up and just doing as opposed to needing clearance and asking all the time for the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, love that. Faith is clearly central to your story. How has, and we spoke a little bit about this, but how has your shared faith helped create alignment and unity in moments when things felt uncertain, overwhelming, a little scary? Can you talk a little more about that?
Yeah, our faith is the foundation of our family. That was a non-negotiable kind of going into it. We wanted to raise our kids in the church and, have that solid foundation. And I don't know how people go through really hard things without it. Honestly, our pastor has always said to us, like, when hard times hit, people either run directly to Jesus or run from him because they don't know how to handle the questions and the anger or whatnot. And so for us, luckily, I think we all just turned and poured into our, our faith was literally what sustained us through it. Like for me, I can honestly say, I was terrified of brain surgery, just the idea of what that looked like. That was scary to me. But as far as the result and what was going to happen to my life, I didn't have fear.
Wow.
Like I knew it was going to be okay. And that's what I was able to tell my kids when I had to share it with them. It's like, how do you present this to your kids? They were a little bit older. They were 14 and 16, but I was just very honest. Obviously didn't share really scary details, but like, this is what I'm going to have to do. But I have faith that I'm going to be okay. And I think they saw that I truly believed that. So they were able to take that for what it was worth, for what I said. And I think that helped ease their fears a little bit because I truly believed no matter what happened, there was a purpose for this. There was a point in my story. This story was going to be used for something. So I didn't think in any way, okay, this was it for me. Like this has a point to it. And I was excited to kind of see what that was going to be. So for us, like faith, yes, it is everything. And I think it helped bring all of us through it without as much fear. So,
well, and faith doesn't mean healing.
right.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Faith doesn't mean we had faith in whatever the outcome is. Now that doesn't mean we don't deserve to be healed. It's not a deserving thing that we have. We're very grateful to be where we're at. There's a lot of people that don't get that opportunity. But it's really just a matter of like when the difficult times come for all of us, not if. I didn't say if, I said when. Because if you're not in a storm, I promise one's coming, unfortunately.
Sure.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news, sorry. But it was just when hard times come, like God has always sustained us. God has always showed us his purpose. And it's always bigger. Like here's one thing too. How do you develop compassion and sympathy and empathy in life? Like it's when you go through something hard.
Absolutely.
And you felt it, you know what it feels like. I think God gives those trials and those tribulations, those hard things, because when you walk through, you know how to help somebody else walk through it. She's been able to walk multiple people through a craniotomy now. Like that's a new ministry for her. She spoke the other day for the first time ever in front of 1,000 people at a prayer breakfast. Like she was sweating gravy, but like it was awesome. And so like, what are we going to do with it? We're way less concerned of what happens to you. We tell our kids that all the time. We're more worried about your response. What does your response look like? Like bad things are going to come. That's why I don't pray for my kids' protection. I don't pray for a hedge of protection. I pray for resilience. Like it's a part of life. And so how do we handle some of the things that we don't necessarily care for? But I don't think there's doesn't mean always healing. It doesn't mean the outcome's always exactly what you wanted. But there is a purpose for the outcome, and you have to believe that.
Yeah. What did you find? Obviously, going through this season with your relationship with God, it helped, right? And what was your relationship with God like during that season? Like, did you feel yourself almost leaning in more and asking more? For him. And that had to be like a lot's going on, and like, did you feel that, or like, what was that growth like? Having already established, having a relationship with God. So what was that like?
So if you back up just a little bit, in 2023, we went through an even bigger storm, in my opinion. One of our closest friends suddenly passed away, and it was very sudden. So we were not prepared for that. So that wilderness season I did have a lot of questions, but it felt like hindsight, that was his way of preparing me for what was about to come. Because the one word that I prayed throughout my entire cancer journey was perspective. Lord, don't let me lose perspective. Kind of like what he was saying. I know what I'm going through is hard, but somebody else is going through something way worse. One of our best friends just lost their spouse. Their kids just lost their mother. Yes, I have brain cancer, but it could be worse. I still have a marriage. You know, I still have a husband. I still have my children. So I constantly leaned into him and asked for perspective. And he granted it to me. And so I think he used that season before that to prepare me. So I just, you know, poured into him and he returned the favor. It was, you know, it was actually a very sweet season, even though it would seem to be scary and, you know, the unknowns, but I didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's the beauty, and it's called sanctification. You know, how do we take our circumstances and how do we continue to grow and get closer to God? I think if we waste opportunities and we get bitter and we get angry, it's just like a class, I think, in school. If you fail it, you take it again. But if we can truly look at circumstances and situations and learn from them and grow from them and experience some of that pain, but experience what God has for you in that season and what he wanted you to take away from it. And I think that season really, I mean, she learned how to handle loss. And she learned how to handle questions, and it pushed her towards her Bible to read and to get clarity, right? Like I think we all have questions. There's so many questions in life that we don't know the answers to. But if we knew the answers, this wouldn't be as much fun, right? Like this wouldn't be near as much fun if we knew exactly what was going on all the time. God gives us free will. God gives us choices, and those choices define where we're at and how fast we grow. It's not just a straight line to a spot. Like I think some people are like, why do I pray? Because I'm going there anyways. No. Yeah. You can get there faster, or you can get there the long way. I mean, decisions have consequences. If I want to make an impact for God big time. If I go rob a bank, I might do some time in jail. I ain't making much of an impact, right? Like your choices are going to have consequences to it. And so I think learning from them, I think it's beneficial for all of us to continue. What does God have for me in this season? Like, what are the takeaways? How can I learn? How can I grow? What do I have in my life that I need to get rid of?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to transition to the Pollack Family Foundation. You're pouring into others in meaningful ways there. How has your personal story influenced the way you steward your time, resources, and kind of the platform? You spoke a little bit about it, to serve others.
Yeah. So the first foundation we ever had was back in Cincinnati after he got drafted. And I think we had a sense of, okay, we're super blessed. We want to be able to give back to others. Like we're in a position to do that, and we want to do that. So we started one there, and then he broke his neck, left the NFL. That was kind of our first really big trial that we went through as a very young married couple. Moved back home, had our first child, Nicholas, and decided, okay, this is something we still want to do. We want to serve others, no matter what our circumstances are. So yeah, we started what we have now, the Pollack Family Foundation. And through this past year and a half, for me personally, I have gained even more, a greater want to, or a greater need and feeling of wanting to give back. I mean, I've always wanted to, but especially seeing how so many people poured into us and gave to us. And we are very blessed and able to do things, but specifically in the medical field, seeing how expensive things are and how hard it is for people that don't have health insurance and don't have the community around them that pours into them, transportation to and from your doctor's appointments and whatever it may be. We didn't struggle with that personally, but I have seen so much of that going in and out of doctor's offices that it's okay, there's a huge need out there in so many different areas. And so even more than ever, I think we feel okay, we have been so blessed. We want to continue to really give back to our community.
Yeah. We do an event called the Banquet of Blessings in November, and we bus in, well, not busing anymore, but we have a bunch of the homeless in the community, and we have a bunch of the underprivileged in the community, and they all come out and we feed them a big feast. And it's a feast, it's a throwdown. And then they get brand new gloves and socks and coats and book bags and all these different things. But every year when we circle them up and we talk to the kids, because a lot of my high school football team comes, a lot of the basketball team comes, and all of our friends. And we're just listen, you're not to blame for what you have. You are absolutely not to blame. But when you look around tonight, you're going to see a lot of people that don't have a lot. And they're not to blame either. But you are to blame if you don't do something about it. You've been given a lot. What are you going to do with it? To whom much is given, much is required. So we have been given way more than we deserve. We didn't earn it. Like, so the fact that we have an opportunity to plug in and listen, we live in an amazing community. I mean, this community is awesome. Like, they help serve us. If we need volunteers, man, we can get some volunteers and people that come in and stand beside us and swing. And we can do amazing things because of it, because of all the people that jump in this community. So it's fun to do. It's fun to do those things. It's good perspective. You always leave better than they do.
Yeah.
Like when you do something for someone else and we have those nights, it's always like, man, that was awesome. And God designed us that way. Like God says, love God and love people. Like take care of people. And so, taking care of those that don't have as much as we have or that have fallen on hard times and letting them know like, hey, you still matter. Like we're doing this for you. Like this is just straight because of you.
Yeah. And that goes back to your word perspective, like bringing the football team and having them kind of serve the event and, kind of have their eyes opened. I feel like it's very powerful.
Yeah, because they don't see a lot of that.
I mean,
and that's not their fault they don't see a lot of it, but there's a lot of it in this world. Just where we live, there isn't as much. And that's why mission trips are awesome. And that's basically a mission trip to Athens. But you ain't got to go far. Yeah. You ain't got to go far to go see some struggle. So, those are opportunities for sure to teach them, to get our kids to get outside of their bubble, to understand as many opportunities as we can get them to serve, whether it's at ESP, wherever it's at, like to serve other folks. We can show them this world doesn't revolve around them. I know they think it does. We got a 15-year-old daughter. You can pray for us.
Yes.
But like that, they just think that the world a lot of times is for them and to serve them. And we're just going to keep trying to show them, hey man, this is about serving others.
Yeah, absolutely. Dave, you got a new book just released, Everyday Counts, carries a powerful message. So how does that, like the mindset that we've kind of been talking about, shape the way that you approach each day, not just individually, but, together as a family? And congrats again on the book release. Awesome.
Well, thank you. But it's proof that anybody can write a book. If a defensive lineman can do it, you can read it, I promise. Listen, I think the book is designed, it's designed for people that want to challenge themselves. It's designed for people that really want to grow and get better. And I think we all work better when there's a score and there's a winner and a loser. And so Everyday Counts is about how do we create a scoreboard in life? Like how do we create some of these things in our lives that we know where my alignment is going to affect my assignment? Which way I'm aimed in life and how can I make sure I'm going in the right direction? And that's what all the book's about. But it was a fun process. Said nobody ever. It was not fun to sit down. It was not fun. Like for an ADD person like me, It was not the easiest thing in the world by any stretch. But it is done and you can get it. And this will be the last one because I'm not writing another one.
There you go. One and done.
It's really good though. I mean, I know I'm this wife, but it's a really good read. And
She's like, but it is good. I promise.
It is more about, it is our story, his story, our story. But it focuses a lot on the challenges and the hardships, not like the glorious things in life. Like you can go watch any reality TV show and see all the quote unquote perfect lives out there. That's not what he wanted to show. He wanted to show the resilience through the hardships and what he's learned and,
how God shows up and is for you in all circumstances.
Yeah.
So it's definitely our story.
Yeah. But I feel like it's applicable to I don't want people to think, oh, well, he was this, college football NFL player. Like, how's that going to relate to me? I think he does a great job of putting any circumstance in that situation, like it's relatable to anything you're going
One
through.
of Leah's friends read it and she was like, I read it. It was actually good. And I was like, thank you. I think she was like, no, it was just really good. I laughed. It was good. It gave me some good things to think about. So we're like, all right, if a 17-year-old can read it, we're probably good.
Yeah. I love too about your story and hearing the season through your cancer journey. I feel like most people would almost like reject God or like, woe is me, why is me? Like I think that's a natural response. Even like thinking about like your position on like drawing nearer to him and being close to him, I think is like really powerful.
Yeah, and I can't take credit for that. I think that's just the Holy Spirit and the Lord giving me that strength. Because I never, and this is not to toot my own horn, but I never thought, why me? Like he looked at me very soon after the diagnosis was like, we're made for this. We got this. And I was like, you're right, we do. I would rather it be me than some other people because I feel like we're strong.
She said, I'd rather it be me than a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
Because she was like, I think it'd have broken a lot of my friends.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, personally, I wish it wasn't you as my wife.
Right, of course, yeah.
But no, she does a good job. And then I think her journaling has been fun to watch. Like, talk about your journaling. That's my favorite thing.
So somebody gave me this advice, and it was great advice, so I'll share. Like, she said, make sure that you journal everything. Like, at the end of the day, take some time to sit down and reflect on it, because life is so busy, you'll go through the day and you'll forget things. And she was right, because I mean, most days you sit down, I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I really took the time to sit. I actually typed it out because writing would have taken forever. So I typed out from the day I found out about the cancer till surgery and then post-surgery, like all the details that I could remember. And like, when you think back, you see the little ways that God showed up in your day, either through other people or through just small little things. And you're like, oh, wow. Okay, he was there. I'm not by myself. And so when you see how he's there with you through a hard journey, the gratitude and that perspective again, you're like, okay, so I'm not doing this all by myself. And you see how many people are in your corner and cheering you. Like, every encouraging text I got, I wrote it out. So that now a year later, I'm going back. So it was a year in March. And every day I go back and read that day in my journal just to see and remind me of who was doing what and how, and it's just such a sweet reminder that you would otherwise never have. So the journaling is, I think, huge. If you're going through something, I would encourage you to write down your thoughts.
It's a great rhythm too, especially in a reminder too. Every day you get to go back to it.
That's right.
So for someone like listening today on the podcast who may feel disconnected, maybe feel not aligned, or maybe not even know what their scoreboard is, whether in family, workplace, community, what would you say one simple practical step that they can rebuild other than journaling and kind of meditation? I feel like that's very powerful. What would you say if someone's like feels disconnected and they need some help?
I'd say get plugged in. Get plugged into the church, man. That's what the church was created and designed for. Everybody, not people like me, not people like you, everybody. People with every background, every messed up complex you can ever imagine. They've seen it all, and we've done it all. And guess what? Everyone in that building also knows that we're not good.
That's right.
Like, we're not good. Like, we got that a lot with why do bad things happen to good people? You're operating under a premise that we're good. We're not good. Right. Like, we're just as flawed and as sinful as you guys are, as everyone is out there. So whatever you're going through, it's hard. Like, all things can be hard. It can be challenging. But again, like we talked about earlier, someone else is going through something worse. But find some people that are for you. Find some people that will come in and swing with you. Find the church that you can plug into, because they know how to support you. Like, the people of God, man, they've seen it, they've done it, they know how to come in and love you. Some good friends, they've seen it, they've done it, they can plug into you, your family, plug into them, but you're not alone, and don't do it alone. The worst thing you can try to do is do this world alone. Yep. Like, Jesus, who was perfect, came and walked this earth and picked 12.
That's right.
If you don't think you need 12 or more, you wrong. Like, he could have easily done it alone. Right. He didn't need any help. Like, so I think community is huge in finding those people that are like-minded. Now, the right community, not the wrong. Like, if you want a great marriage, an above average marriage, don't hang out with people with a below average marriage.
That's right.
Like, and I know that sounds harsh, but if they don't care about their marriage, they dang sure don't care about yours.
Yeah.
Right. So I think finding those people that that you respect, that you see, that can pour into you, that can give you advice, be willing to take it. But you're not alone. I mean, we're all suffering. We're all going through something. A lot of times some people mask it better than others. But when you share it and you bring it to the light, it doesn't exist anymore. That's right. When you keep it in the darkness, it'll keep growing and growing and growing.
Yeah. I mean, I think the church is number one for sure. But I also think finding ways to serve and volunteer. There's an abundance of opportunities out there with nonprofits, with all kinds of places. And he talked about this with the Banquet of Blessings. I think sometimes when you pour into others, you actually benefit more.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you're not connected, that is a great way to go out and don't wait to be served. Go serve and see what it does. Like, I think it would surprise people how much joy and fulfillment it brings to your life when you do for others, even when you're the one that feels like you need to be poured into, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would encourage people who want to get connected, and then you're going to meet like-minded people in those scenarios, other people who are trying to serve others, and you might create some great friendships. And I mean, I'm sure you can look online and find tons of opportunities, but the church I would second that. That's a great place to start. Like, they will welcome you with open arms, or they should.
Yeah. I love that.
Or find a different church.
Yeah. We talk a lot internally at our bank about making a meaningful mark on the lives of others. It's kind of it's our mission statement. What does make you remarkable mean to each of you personally?
So when you say that, the first thing that literally comes to my mind is well done, good and faithful servant.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, at the end of my life, what are people going to say about me? How am I going to leave my mark? How did I serve others well? It's not about me. It's about him first, and then it's about others. It's what we tell our kids, joy. It's Jesus, others, and then you, Joy, not the other way around. If you're putting yourself first, you've got it all wrong. So what have I done that others are going to remember me and my family and our faith by? Faith, family, community is the words we live by at the Pollack Family Foundation. So yeah, I mean, how are you going to pour into others and make their lives better is what I think of.
Yeah. That was impressive.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Lindsey.
Like a proud pop on that one. Legacy is not what you leave people. It's what you leave in people. Like, that's a legacy. Legacy is not when I die, what I leave my kids.
Say that one more time about legacy.
Legacy is when I die, it's not what I give to my kids. It's what I left in them. It's what continues to live on and live on. And those are the things that we want to pursue. There's so many things. You can have so much money. You can have all the money you want. You can have all the trophies you want. You can have all the things you want. You ain't taking that with you, right? So it's about impact. How are you impacting people? How are you finding, and listen, finding those opportunities every single day. Like, those opportunities exist to serve others every single day.
That's right.
There will be opportunities all along the day. It's just whether you want to choose to plug into them. And then you can slowly make your mark, one little person, one little interaction at a time.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you guys again for your time. How do people get connected to you if they're listening to this podcast? How do people find you?
So our website is pollackfamilyfoundation.com. He has all kinds of handles and stuff. I don't know what they are.
Wow.
He's a good follow, but I just don't know what they are.
I don't know what they are either. I think it's David Pollack 47.
Yeah.
There we go.
Those things.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Make Your Remarkable. If you enjoyed the conversation, leave us a review, share it with a friend, or follow us on social media at Oconee State Bank and at remarkable_mortgage for more remarkable insights. And remember, at the heart of every journey, it's not about the process. It's about the purpose you're building, one bold step at a time. Until next time, keep making your remarkable.